Hello, everybody. Welcome, leaders. Let's kick off by admitting that the only six pack most of us chase is in the office fridge. But today, we'll prove that fitness turns flab into fab choices. So grab your water, not whiskey, and let's get pumped. I'll go straight to Mr. Anil. Sir, in the high stakes legal negotiations or IP disputes, how has physical fitness sharpened your mental clarity and helped you stay composed when timelines are tight?
Thank you. Uh, Basically, I'm a lawyer, and when you think about a lawyer, the stereotypical lawyer comes with not a six-pack but a family pack, and dark circles under the eye.
You look straight out of the gym.
Yeah. So that's what I had to break that stereotype. We were having a conversation just before this session where you asked me, how do you find time to work out? So the first thing that I told you also, and most of the people in this room will resonate with, is that you can't find time, you'll have to make time. That's the only way to stay fit. And that's the only way to break the stereotype where the leaders are supposed to, carry the exhaustion as a badge of honor. That is the stereotype that we are trying to break here. And as a leader, as a legal leader in an organization, as an in-house counsel who leads a team, how fitness helps me lead is the question you asked. And I train around 5 to 6 times a day, in a week, and not a day, in a week. And that is a mixture of strength as well as I also do some mixed martial arts. So that's the kind of training that I do. And what this training has taught me is that, when you are in the ring with your sparring partner or in a boardroom, the first thing that when you are facing a stress, that your body reacts with a fight or flight mode. That is first thing that comes up. That is when pressure comes, whether to fight or fly. That's a thing that happens, and body wants to panic. And when your body is trained, you are regularly training your body. What happens is that your body is trained not to overreact. And when it's a high stress situation, like I've been in negotiations rooms and crisis situations, handling crisis situations, and people are stressed all around, and people are on caffeine, right? And at that point of time, to take a breath, calm yourself down, focus on the issue at hand. That is what this training, physical training, helps by enhancing mental clarity. And that ability to cut the noise and focus on the issue at hand and fight stress in a situation, high pressure situation, is what gives a leader, a fit leader, that invisible edge.
Lawyers talking so much on fitness is an exception.
That's why I started saying that stereotypes has to be broken.
Okay, I would go to Ms. Gandhali Samant. Madam, leading an AI-driven transformation involves constant ambiguity. So how has your fitness routine acted as an anchor for emotionally stability during volatile client escalations?
So, first of all, I'll ask how many people here don't use AI in their day-to-day life? Just one, two, everybody else does, right? So, I think with the advent of AI and overall cloud, the areas that I lead for Microsoft, what has happened is there is constant change, technology evolution, different customer expectations, constant business priority change, and it creates a lot of volatility around you, right? Volatility, ambiguity, it's all the same. But what helps you is the emotional stability that you can show as a leader. That can be the key differentiator between, the reactive decisions that you will make versus the strategic leadership that you can showcase. And that's where the routine comes into picture. It's not just physical health, it's also your mental health. But the habits that you have for physical health, whether it is a walk or a swim or a gym session, it helps you create that clarity, it helps you create the focus, it helps you get to the bottom of the problem and solve it, not get panicked by it. So for me, those routines are the ones which help me stay stable, stay clear in the moments of crisis. So what I would say is, and I have said it many times to many people, that I don't have time. I don't get enough time in the day. And I have heard it from many people as well. So I just want to say that it's not a luxury. Getting the time for fitness, it's not a luxury. It's an investment. Even I realized it few years back when I was going through this, continuous work. It's an investment that you do in your career. Your fitness is an investment for a long career, which will help you, in your future, and it will be a kind of a big tool in your leadership toolkit if you do it well.
Thank you. We'll go to Mr. Rammoham Sundaram. Reframing fitness for leaders. As a wellness entrepreneur, how do you convince skeptical CXOs that fitness isn't a nice to have but a strategic KPI for leadership performance?
So I just ventured into health and wellness. It's not that I've been at it forever, but I've been a fitness freak for the longest period of time as I can remember. So I was an athlete from the very beginning. So see, you can't force anybody to do something. You can't put that as a KPI. It's like brushing your teeth first thing in the morning when you get up. It's a habit, right? That habit then becomes discipline. So you can't force discipline on anybody, and you can't say that this is what needs to get done every day. That is pressure, right? You can't do that. You will have to lead from the front to show how you've changed or transformed over a period of time with your own self. So if you had seen me 5 years ago, I was 103 kgs. I'm now 78. So if I go say something to somebody today, and that whole progress is there on my social media. So that if I say something, people will listen to me because I have done it myself. I walk the talk. So you can't never put a KPI saying that मेरे company में तू आज 10,000 step करेगा. That is never going to lead to anything. So when I talk to any of my leaders or anybody outside in the industry, my core, first the discussion not about health and wellness, except when I meet Anurag once in a while saying that you lost weight, because I've known him at a higher weight at some point in time. But what is more important is to make people realize how you can beat a whole host of diseases if you do things regularly. A lot of people say that I go to the gym every day, and this is what I do, and I do these kind of exercises, and then sit for 8 hours a day. That's not going to help. You got to keep. See, it's like a machine. Now, I've said this a lot many times to a lot of people. If you buy a brand new car and keep it, even if it is a Mercedes or a BMW at the most valuable or the top end car, and park it for 3 months, it's not going to start the 4th month because battery khatam ho jati hai. Recharge to karna hi padega. It's as simple as that. So you can't say that I will do an hour of workout in the morning, I'll run, and then 8 hours before the computer, I'll do nothing else. I will eat, I will then move around, be socially active with my colleagues. Doesn't help. You have to, through the day, you will have to do something. So which means that even during office hours or at work, after an hour, possibly get out. You don't need to do 100 steps. You just move around, right? I'm not saying don't do your regular things. If there is a lift at your building and if you have to climb just 2 floors, climb the floors. Those are simple mechanisms by which your metabolism can improve. That apart from doing your regular gym a day, every day. So I do 6 days a week, and it is a habit simply because I had a discipline of carrying. I used to live in Mulund at one point in time, and I used to go to Shivaji Park every day. I used to catch the 4:10 train in the morning. Because the first person who reaches Acharya sir's nets, irrespective of whoever it is, whether it was Ajit Agarkar or anybody else, the first person reaching the nets will get to bat. People used to sleep in the ground. So after getting a 4:10 train also, I used to be the 8th batsman on the net. So that became a discipline for me to get that train and go there. So anything that forms as a discipline will eventually give, outcome is always good. So my discipline helped me to get from where I am to where, from 103 to 78. But like I said, you can't force things on anybody in your system to do something.
Sure, point taken. We'll go to Dr. Shankar Narang. In life-saving ophthalmic surgeries, how does your fitness regime enhance sustained focus during 10-hour marathons or critical diagnostic calls?
Uh, Thank you, first of all. Just to clarify, the surgeries bit have been left long past. I have moved completely from clinical side to administrative. Now it's long hours in boardrooms
You can
discussing the
tell us
top line and bottom lines. So that was on
which one is more tiring?
uh, both of them have equally, I would say, merits and demerits of it. But since we are on the fitness, both of them play a big role. So fitness plays a big role in managing long hours in the ORs, and so do in the boardroom. So fitness has something which has been an integral part of this. Uh, I would just give you a simple example and like to keep it simple. What happens when we do exercise? The heart beats faster, the lungs, the breathing increases, the lungs beat faster. Why? Because they want to supply body with more blood, the main organs with more blood, glucose and oxygen. So that makes your brain sharper. So that's how exercise keep you better, sharper, whether it is in the operation theater or it is in the boardroom. And taking from that, I'm sure you must have all have seen Munna Bhai MBBS, and there was a one beautiful dialogue of circuit in that ki iske brain mein chemical locha ho gaya hai. So that is very true. So all these exercises and regular exercises, I would say, brings in that chemical locha in the brain. It modulates the neurotransmitters. Those are the heavy words, if I have to put it that way. It modulates the other things like dopamine and serotonin, which are the stress neurotransmitters, and the way it continuous exercise increases it at a certain period and then increases the threshold of your body to maintain that, thus lowering the stress. So both of them help in lowering the stress, which I think the leaders these days have the biggest concern of, which is stress. Again, you do have an active life, you sleep better in the evening, which most of the people, and even Mr. Hansel and Mr. Talked about sleeping better in the life, in the night. So that is something which is again modulated with doing exercises. Not only that, it sharpens the focus. Again, important in boardrooms and important in operation theaters. It gives you more focus on whatever you are doing and a better agility to move forward and take decisions. Even in operation theaters, a lot of time we have to take some quick decisions because based on human anatomy, it is different. Every person has a different anatomy, different eye, and at times it's not same as it has been taught in textbook. So you will have to take some quick decisions, immediate decisions at that time. So if you are agile, if your brain is focused, it has getting enough blood flow, you are able to take those decisions. So overall, exercises have been helping a lot, whether it is managing in the...
Are there any wellness protocols for surgeons? Because the biggest asset any surgeon could have is steady hands and focused mind.
So surgeons are known to be the worst in managing their exercises or their regimes. They are the most, I'm not criticizing, I myself come from that background, but...
So how do they get that surgical precision?
See, it's about continuous practice. It is about maintaining I would say, the regime, and it is about doing it again and again, day out, day in, the same thing. It's again to your exercises regime, or it is to your surgeries. The more you practice, the better you get, the better it is on the reflex level, so that you don't have to use your main brain, but it comes from your spinal reflexes as you do more and more things. So I can relate it with running. So the more I start running and the more I increase my kilometers or miles to my running, it comes on the, I would say, at a cerebral level. Not then your body doesn't get fatigued. It's that you're running with your brain, not with your body, and you're not feeling the fatigue of it.
Okay. So for lawyers, we'll go to Mr. Anil again. For lawyers, does fitness build any kind of professional resilience, when in times of intense fights or legal battles?
Um, so resilience basically comes through repetition. For a lawyer, what is most important is resilience, mental focus, and clarity, right? So, resilience, how do you build resilience? It is through repetition. When you are, I'm just going to equate it to what happens when you work out. When you work out, you are putting your body through fatigue and recovery, and it's a repeated process. So, when your body get accustomed to, acute fatigue, controlled acute fatigue, and recovery, and that cycle repeats, that also translates into some part into your mind also, and the mind also become more resilient. But I'm not saying that resilience of mind is only built through workouts, but since the subject of the seminar, the summit is that, I'm kind of trying to equate that. And apart from resilience, when you look at focus and clarity, I kind of resonate with what Dr. Shankar just said. And I would like to add on a bit more on that one, is that in my last 5 to 6 years of true journey in the fitness, on the fitness side, I have realized that, mental clarity and focus are not just psychological. Basically, it's not just motivation. It is more physiological. What I mean by that is that when you go for a workout, when you are working out, when you work out, eat well and sleep well, right? These three things has to coincide. Then your body changes. The biochemistry in the body changes, the neurochemistry in the body changes. And what that means is that you get more control over your hormones like cortisol, serotonin, dopamine, adrenaline. All these things comes into balance when you are doing this consistently. And that actually helps get more mental clarity and focus than motivation. Motivation is dependent on a lot of other factors. It may be environment, it may be which side of the bed you woke up on, or it may even depend on the weather. So motivation can be fluctuating, but your biochemistry is not fluctuating because you have it under control. And that control that you get through consistent workout is what actually gives you an edge as a leader. And also when you are in stressful situations, and how to handle things with clarity and resilience.
Actually, I would like to know from each one of you one micro habit that you have embedded in your daily professional lives or daily routine to build that fitness, and keep your mind sharp during crisis. We can start with Ms. Gandhali.
So, one habit that I have built over last few years is a rule of minimum 15 minutes. So I keep at least 15 minutes. Maybe it is like 10 o'clock in the night. Whether if I don't have time to go to gym, I can just go and walk or do something else. But that is the rule I created because, see, I'm an engineer by profession. I love numbers. For me, numerical goals are easy. And when you say minimum 15 minutes, in my mind, I will try to stretch 20, 25, 30. So that's how I built my routines. But I have always started with small goals. And when you achieve that, for me, it's rewarding when you achieve small goals. And then you try taking on bigger goals from your fitness. So that is a habit that I have developed over years, that I set small goals and then I make sure I achieve them. And then that helps me go for bigger goals.
So Rammoham?
You'll have to repeat the question. I couldn't get the
So
context.
one micro habit that you have embedded in your daily routine that helps you.
Okay, so first is
bring
that before exercises, like you rightly said, 7 hours of sleep is extremely important. And that actually, when people get up in the morning, the most important thing is that you need to hydrate yourself first. Because after sleep, correct me if I'm wrong, you're a doctor, but these are things that I learned by reading and by practicing. Your body needs enough and more water to get going. So the first thing I do is have hot lemon water. Now that does not reduce your weight. That's a myth. In most people think that lime water actually reduces. No, it doesn't. It hydrates you and gives you lots of antioxidants to get going for the day, because it's got vitamin C and there's a whole host of other ingredients which helps your body to get rejuvenated because you need that after sleep. So that's my first micro activity before I even start exercising. And I have no such limitations. I have the time in the world because I've made my routine in such a way that, I don't miss any of my workouts, and I do 1 hour of, minimum 1 hour is something that I do. Otherwise it goes 90 minutes most of the time. So, yeah.
Doctor, can you tell me any changes that have come when you transformed yourself from operation theatre to the boardroom, and any routine changes that you've made to your fitness regime? Or
Well, a lot of changes have come in the fitness journey over the years. Now that I am above 50, one thing which has important come is taking breaks in between. Something which is very important, giving body adequate rest. What I used to do earlier, maybe run 7 days a week, I don't do that. Now it's 3 to 4 days a week. The second thing so we all know, means prevention is better than cure. So that's something which I keep in focus. And I would just tell you one small thing. I'm sure we all have cars, those sitting in this hall, and we send them to service after a predefined kilometer or at least once in a year. How many times do you service your body? Means yearly, do you even get a checkup done? That's something important, and that's something which has changed in last 8 to 10 years. I ensure that I at least get a blood checkup every 6 months, if not able to get some other things. So that is something which has changed over life. So, and the other thing is from a micro habit, I ensure that every 1 hour or little over 1 hour, I stand up, walk a little bit, because now they say sitting is as good as or as bad as smoking these days. So these are some things which.
we can open the floor for question. If there are any questions for any one of you, the panelists. Yeah, the gentleman there. Can you pass a mic? Sure. Can you pass a mic? Is there a mic?
Thank you. I'm Dr. Divyang Shah, CMO of Larsen and Toubro. Just wanted to know, because people come to me, we don't have time for the exercise, and as you rightly mentioned, we have to make the time. What is the best time to go for gym, morning or evening?
So the best time depends on how you feel. Some people are morning people, some people are evening people. It depends on when you feel best to go work out. But the thing is, whatever the time is, you need to identify that particular time and make it a habit to show up. And in the last discussion also, there was a question, how to build consistency, right? So any habit is built through consistency, and to build that consistency, the first thing that you need to do is show up. Identify the time, identify the activity. It need not be gym, it can be walking, it can be running, whatever feels appealing to you. Do that. Just show up. Try to show up, and when you consistently show up, the habit gets built. When you build a habit, fitness comes as a byproduct of that.
May I add? So, have you ever exercised before?
So I'm a regular exerciser. I'm talking of, question
Timing.
is for my
Why I'm asking
employees.
that is, how do you feel when you do it at a particular time? I'll tell you why. Because if you do it in the morning, there's a sense of calm, and you're more agile during the course of the day, so that you can address a whole host of activities which are under pressure. Or typically most of our work is under pressure. By the end of the day, you've gone through all that pressure and you're actually wanting to wind down. So this is human psychology. That's why I asked you, do you exercise at all? So if you've done that, you would experience both, because I experience both. And sometimes you get energized in the nights, because in the evening when you do it, all your body is sometimes activated, right? Most of the times it is when you exercise. So I don't get enough sleep when I probably do it in the evening. But when I do it in the morning, the day goes well, and then I have a good night's sleep as well. So that's why I asked you whether you exercise. So it was not a condescending question.
That's
so
fine.
don't think otherwise. So that's the reason why.
The reason why I ask this question is that when I say to my employees that you do the exercise at the morning, they say that we don't have time because they have to start early in the morning to catch the train or public transport to reach the office, and they don't have time because they have to prepare the food and other things. So that's the context I asked the question.
May I add something here? So, while it helps to have a specific time, what I have experienced is if I have decided a time frame and if I can't make it, like if you have very unpredictable schedules or if you travel a lot, you will not always be able to be, say, at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 6 o'clock in a place where you can exercise. So, and that actually deteriorated it for me, because if I'm not meeting that time, then I wouldn't do it. So for those who can make that, I think that's really good, and I have seen people doing it. But those who have very unpredictable hours or lot of travel, I think making the time whenever possible in the day has worked out better personally for me, because then I get that flexibility. Like there are times when rarely I come home early, and then that is the time I can, the way he said, you wind down and you feel good, you feel energetic. But then there are times when I am really late in the day, and that is the time I would probably wake up early in the morning and go. So personally, I have kept it flexible because that allows me to do it whenever I can, and it still makes me feel better than missing that time and not doing it at all.
So, before we close the session, sir, a short question, extremely short, because we have only.
Yeah, so thanks, Rammoham, for clarifying this. This was something which I was looking for a long time, because I function like how Gandhali has been. But my question is, and it's a very short one, I hear a lot of people talking about going to gym, fitness and all. Why is the talk about sports not enough? Because I owe my fitness to playing squash. So the simplest, why are people not talking about sports but only gym?
So I have sports takes, apart from having a partner to play badminton or squash, you can play by yourself. But otherwise, it takes a longer time. So if you have to play cricket, I am a cricketer. I need at least 4 hours. So I don't have that 4 hours. But sports is a very good activity. So there is no question about it. If you got a partner to play badminton early in the morning or late in the evening, nothing like it. Or squash, you can do it by yourself. It's also the interest. So I don't like playing squash by myself, so I don't do it. Yeah. But it's a great question, and sports directly relates to natural, like all the hard stuff that he told about. It will, you might lose muscles, but you'll be healthier. So yeah, that's the way it is.
It's not about gym or anything. It's about getting up, getting out and doing something which is physically active.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You. Before we close the session, I have one question for Dr. Narang. Since we have a doctor here, I would like to ask him, sir, we are talking about so much of fitness and gym and workout and, being active. A stockbroker, I went to a stockbroker's office. It's a big stockbroker, and equity trading, derivative trading is the most stressful job I have ever seen, because people are losing huge money there, and that the kind of stress that creates. So he has a huge gym built in his office for traders to go and exercise, and he calls trainers and even for meditation sessions. He said, my children don't understand. He said, you tell me horse is the most fittest animal, amongst the most fittest animal on earth. Why does a crocodile live 70, 80 years more than a horse?
Okay, there is something called genetic composition, which is different. Why does a mosquito live one day and elephant lives for years? So it's purely genetic composition, and what you said is very relevant, and I think we missed that one point is doing everything in moderation. Huge stress, whether it is traders or whether it is, we can talk about neurosurgeons, they operate for hours and days together. You must have heard that the surgeries went on for 36 hours, 47 hours and 48 hours. It's about moderation, knowing and understanding your physical abilities and your body, and accordingly adding more stress to it. Exercise, end of the day, is a stress. We have heard a lot of news of lot of people's, lot of CEOs dying on treadmills. again, like somebody said earlier also, sleep is important. Everything is important, but in moderation. Desi ghee is very good, but in moderation. Not doing it is also bad.
But I'll tell you the stockbroker's logic. He told me, मगरमच्छ पड़ा रहता है, 100 साल जीता है, घोड़ा भागता रहता है, 20 साल में मर जाता है. Anyways. हाँ? So thank you everybody for being patient. It was
We just saw 70,000 crore valuation.
So thank you leaders and thank you everybody. To close the session, a strong core isn't just for selfies, it is for steering empires. Thank you everybody.